need to get that filled. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. The light was causing issues there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the summary of the story I read on research, because I was wondering about it, was that to make it work, they would have had to remove that main part of the church.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the planning was, where it was happening. You know, like how that got, how that wound up like that. But I wish they'd turn it into some sort of tourist thing, like build a hotel or restaurants, cafes on there, you know, so you can make use of the scenic.
Yeah, they
Tingabot
won't,
me.
No,
they won't do that.
Nakita mi sa Cebu. Pero do,
well, there's a lot of things that I would hope for is like they have quite a lovely tourist center there.
Oh, that's fairly recent.
Right.
Yeah,
Like 5
it used
years
to be
ago.
a lot simpler than that.
Yeah, 5 years
But now
ago.
it's really big.
Yeah, but my concern is that I don't see any planning for
And you what?
flood protection. Because those concepts got flooded. I'm not sure when that was. That was when the typhoon went through.
The typhoon.
Yeah. What is it called? Is it Odette?
Odette.
Odette?
That was
Okay.
only this time last
That was,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there was 6 to 8 feet of water in those buildings.
Really?
Yeah. Where the public market is,
Yeah.
which is further down the road towards the Y,
Yeah.
there was over the roof of our multi was on the road with water, is what they told me.
Wow.
And so that whole market got flooded out and the vendors lost all their goods.
It was about 100,000. I don't know whether this was 100,000 families or people, but there was, like I remember the governor of Cebu,
Yeah.
right at that time, they were talking about a lockdown, another lockdown.
Oh, really?
And the governor of Cebu is a very savvy lady, and she said, lockdown, where 90,000, she said 90,000 people are homeless, where will we lock them down in?
Yeah, she's very practical.
Yeah, she said, we've got to talk about building things up, not locking down.
Yeah, we need movement of people to support the preservation of life and then rebuilding.
Yes.
So I hear up in this end got the worst, some of the worst, right? Like up the
In
storm. The storm in this area got the worst of the storm.
It went, we were right in the middle. It was real destruction. We lost all of the roofs except one
In your
on our little compound.
right,
We have a guest house, small guest house.
and it survived.
And that, surprisingly, it survived.
Yeah.
And all of the other roofs were gone. And we lost our house.
Okay, that's what I gathered. That your house came down.
Yeah. Well, what happened was that the roof came off and it ruined everything.
Yeah.
It ruined everything. But at that time, it was on a limited amount of time that we would stay
Nana is
there.
fries.
Okay.
Because it
Sige,
was
clubhouse
built.
and fish
It
and
was
chips.
one of those jobs where you start it, oh, we're only going to be this big, and then you say, oh, well, why don't we make it this big? And then,
So you had a lot of additions during construction.
well, yeah,
Sort of.
but it all went onto a foundation, a platform of wood.
Okay.
So I built a house out of metal stud.
Yeah.
So that would have been fine. The actual structure survived very well, but the floor was already giving way. In parts, you could feel it going. So we just tore it down. It's actually about ground level now, not completely gone, because we don't have the infrastructure here to be able to get the stuff away. I mean, Florida just suffered, what was it, hurricane?
Yeah.
Hurricane, and I saw the videos there, and the side of the road it's just piled high with stuff that will be taken away from
In the
them.
future.
But we don't have that here.
Yeah,
So we're on our own resources.
right.
So eventually, most of the stuff will go to salvage.
Yeah. Now, your brother-in-law that's from Alaska, I forget his name.
My brother-in-law Rado, he is taking the thing down.
Okay, but his house he was building, was that finished before the storm? The roof on?
Yeah, he lost part of the roof.
Okay.
We knew that the red house was coming down, so we focused on. We got Nana's, Beth's mom.
Right.
We got her roof fitted, and Lena, Beth's sister, and Rado, Beth's brother, and another brother, Tata, is also there. We got all of those sorted out. And then what we did was we put a new roof on our office, which was like an addition to the red house.
Yeah.
We put a new roof on it, and that's where we're living now, in the office.
And you're staying there for temporary until you build
Just
something
temporary.
else?
We're building a new now.
Yeah.
So, but it's a long distance project. you
Yeah.
know. So we've said 5 years, but that's because we want to do
Other things.
a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Well, when you say a lot more on the house or a lot more
A lot
on
more
other projects?
in the actual project.
Yeah.
We've focused mainly on. We're okay. You know?
Yeah.
We're okay in our office. It's not a palace, but it's pretty nice. You know,
Yeah.
we've made it now. And what we've been doing is helping people who have nothing. You know, they've got some of the people that we helped have got bits of tin.
I've seen them,
You know,
like on your videos. Yeah.
very sad. And they've got nothing.
Yeah.
So it's not just that the house was torn down and they're in the process of building. What that lean-to was their now home in lots of the cases. The one particular place that we went to, one community is in the ghetto. The ghetto here is on land which is high tide. So it's right, you're never far.
It's
in
near the
Taliban, you're
tide.
never far from the water anyway. But where it's right on the edge, when it's high tide, it floods completely onto that land.
Into where those homes
So
are?
we built on that, but we built higher so that the next time,
On stilts?
yeah, not on stilts,
No.
but on
Great beam or?
a foundation, and then courses of hollow block,
Right.
which is rendered, and then the house, so that the floor of the house is up here.
Which is maybe this much above the high tide? Yeah.
So we were guided by the people who said, if we said, well, why don't we build the floor here? And they said, that's not enough. Well, we built a little bit more. So we were guided by the people whose houses were there before.
So did that area just get flattened? Like by the wind and storm?
We were looking to help there before, but it was devastating. You know, it really was devastating. But the thing is, the thing about the
Doon niyo sa kuan, Lubok,
Did you order
floating
that?
restaurant.
That-
Yeah, I ordered for you.
Did
Fried
you?
chicken.
Did you order for me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
we'll see what we're going to have later.
She has an idea for me, so I'm okay.
But on that particular community, we built a terrace of 5 houses. That's all we were able to do.
Right.
But
Church.
we could have stayed there 2 years.
Yeah,
We could still be there, building houses.
there's probably a lot of people living there.
Yes. Yeah. Incredible people.
Doon sementado magha.
I mean, we actually,
Like when you say that, you mean resilient.
Sige, sakyanan mo
oh,
aki
just amazing.
lumot-lumot.
They've got nothing. They have no resources to rebuild. What they've got, there'll be tarpaulins for walls and
Right.
roofs. And we spoke to other people and said, you know, we're only going to be able to build 5 houses.
Yan na, trabaho.
Is that okay with you?
Salamat.
They were incredible. They said, we understand. We understand we can only build so many. So we built a terrace of 5 houses,
Okay, so a terrace, or they live side by
Pero
side?
for na siya, dili, for good na.
all in one block.
Yeah,
You know,
Siya.
with one.
common wall.
Pero aka mo
Very
mga
cheap.
magatuman.
That kept the cost down.
Right.
And then one alleyway between, so like 2 and 3.
Okay.
Sige mo, kita
You know, the people were just marvelous.
Yeah.
You know, can't believe how good they are. Well, we spoke to the children. Spoke to the children and asked them what happened on that night. And in that community, there was one cement block house, and they all
Went there.
crammed into that. He said, well, were you afraid? He said, we sang songs and afraid of it. It was just incredible. But the kids are incredible resource.
Yeah.
Whereas it's funny, in the West, they're often considered a burden. You know?
You said
They
consider
said in the West,
liability.
they're considered a burden that has to be covered.
Yeah.
You know?
Listen din
No,
na.
not another child. We have 3 children. Why didn't they stick to 1 child?
Yeah.
Whereas here, in a way, they regard the children as an asset for the future.
And
That they'll
part of
take care of them in their old age.
their retirement fund.
Ilan ka buhok?
So he said that every child here is a blessing.
Yeah.
Are you living here now?
No, I came over for 3 weeks. I'm going back on the 2nd. I still work full-time driving
Right.
truck in Canada and US.
Yeah.
But I was here in 2015 and 18, and we were planning to come back, and then COVID came. You know, so that kind of took a chunk of 2 or 3 years sort of out of our plans. So now we finally come back. And in the meantime, Maria's father, his memory went. He doesn't know who she is now. So